Hello everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my Skyrocket Your Chess Understanding course by ChessDiagnostic. Today we're going to look at analysis, and I'm really going to cover how to form a thought process and just the theory of this whole course basically. Stick around until the end of the video where I give you a cool analysis position, and leave a comment below if you get the answer correct. So, in forming an organized thought process, we need to focus mainly on analysis. In a real game, you have 4 main steps to follow to ensure you play at a high level. Step 1 is to understand your opponent's threats and ideas. Step 2 is to use your understanding to find candidate moves, move possibilities. Step 3 is to analyze the consequences of each move and decide on your move. And step 4 is a blunder check, where you look at all the forcing replies of your opponent to make sure that it's not a blunder. And then you make your move. We'll be focusing on steps 2 and 3 in this course, as they are the most important, and steps 1 and 4 are clear-cut reactions to steps 2 and 3. So this thought process can be summed up in a very simple graphic, general to specific. Now, if we look at this Rai Lopez position here, I'm sure many of you recognize this. We need to figure out how to play the move. A lot of players will just know what to do here, and that's just your chess understanding and your pattern recognition. But if we actually had to go through a thought process, you see that there's really no threats. You'll use your understanding to know that you need to develop, and then you'll just analyze the consequences, which, when there's really no contact between the pieces, then you'll just basically play based on your chess understanding. And then 4, a blunder check, where you'll look at forcing replies, which there isn't really. And then you make the move. Normally blunders happen when a player has an overall idea of the plan, but fails to take into account the specific situation on the chessboard. This is why analysis is so important, because chess is a very concrete game. Now, the complicated nature of chess means you ultimately have to rely entirely on analyzed lines of play. Nowadays, I've kind of had to rethink my entire method for chess improvement and understanding because of insanely powerful computer chess engines. These weren't even around when I was a kid. Unlike the past, where we'd rely on chess books and great masters to give us the objective truth of a position, nowadays we can actually use these tools to improve our understanding and get more of the objective truth of the position. We can use the chess engine lines to keep us objective in our analysis and chess progress. This is its main strength, really. We're still playing human chess, so of course we need to use logic and understanding, but we can use the tools at our disposal nowadays to get the best use of our time, and I believe what I'm talking about here is it. So, this leads back to our overall chess understanding and why it's so important. Because you must rely entirely on analyzed lines, you must have a clear-cut move selection method that reduces possibilities in your analysis. And this is, again, I'm talking about simplifying things instead of making them more complex. So the theory covered here seems rather simple and basic. When it is explained, I'll explain it, but it should be, because when you play chess, you're going into battle. Confusion and chaos reign on the battlefield, and you must know your overall objective before you enter the battlefield. This course doesn't serve any other purpose than to prepare you for the battle by putting you through a boot camp where 1, you learn your objective, and 2, you practice applying that objective until it becomes second nature. This is how the military trains soldiers to fight effectively in battle, and the same will be done in the rest of this course to prepare you for your chess battles. Thanks for sticking with me till the end here. In this specific position, it's black to move, and when we're starting our analysis, you want to follow your standard game thought process. You don't want to just try to calculate and find the move right away. What we're trying to do is train on playing a real game. There's really no point in just solving a puzzle and getting the solution, and then missing all the tactics in your real games. So that's what this course is meaning to train, and let's just get into it here. So I encourage you in the comments below to leave your analysis, and if your analysis is accurate and good, I'll heart your comment, and let's just start. Okay, so with black to move, you want to look for the forcing variations, but first off, you want to find your opponent's threats. Now, white is threatening this knight, and it looks like he's planning to play something like e6. So we see the plan, but really we're going to focus on step 2 once we see the minor threats, because normally when you're looking at a tactical position, you're trying to find the winning solution, so we do kind of know that, but you do want to start with step 1. All right, so we know from our general understanding that piece activity is the most important thing, and our knights, our doubled rooks, lend us to believe that we already have very active minor pieces. So how can we get the queen into this attack? Notice that white has an otherwise weak back rank. For example, if the rook was gone, we could just checkmate right away. So what we want to try to do is figure out how to undermine this specific rook. And for example, if we can bring the queen in to an otherwise ridiculous square like e2, and the rook took either one, then we'd take, check, and we'd win right away. Otherwise, queen e2 actually brings an attack on this rook because it's undefended, and we're just going to look at this move because that's a rather obvious move when you understand the position. So queen to e2 is the correct move initially, but there's some follow-up that we need to figure out what to do. So if the rook comes in here, then what are we supposed to do? Now it looks like there's no back rank threats, and you want to find another forcing continuation from here. So in this case, queen takes rook, deflecting the rook, and now actually if the rook takes, then we get a checkmate, in addition to threatening the queen. So after rook takes here, we get checkmate. And if the rook doesn't take, then we are threatening checkmate. There's a knight check here, but we can just take. And now if he takes here, then we get knight check, queen forward, check. And he has to give away his queen for a rook. So a very interesting analysis position. And one more tip I want to leave you with here. Now, if you got this position wrong, what I'd encourage you to do, now that you understand the solution, is from the starting position, what you want to do is you want to visualize the correct sequence of moves, because this will help you actually practice the correct thought process all along the way. And of course, before you make the final move in a puzzle like this, you want to do a blunder check, which is a very important thing to prevent mistakes in your real games. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this last position helped you, and I look forward to getting all these videos out and really getting a cool course in your guys' hands so you could improve your chess and hopefully learn something along the way. I'll see you in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.